everyone, it's Lily here from Shine Bright Diamonds 2023, and I'm coming to you today with another one of my weekly WIP'n chats. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am so happy that you have found my little corner here on YouTube, and of course, those of you that are returning, welcome back. Now, if this is your first time tuning into a WIP'n chat, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat is where I chat to you about what's been going on in my world. So feel free to pull out a project and work alongside me, or treat this as a podcast, whatever floats your boat. So let's get into it, because it has been a wild 2 weeks in my life and we have a lot to catch up on. So I'm gonna dive us right in. So the kit that I'm working on is my Diamond Art Club Halloween Mystery Kit, which, spoiler alert, there will be tons of spoilers because I'm working on this kit. But I mean, if you're here, then it tells me that you have just been following along as I work on this mystery kit. In terms of my supplies, I am using this super cute little chick in a bunny hat tray from Creations Moran. It was part of their Easter collection. And then in terms of my tools, I have my Art Dot electric pen that I use for AB placement. And I'm using my Creations Moran pen that I had received in their Easter. One of their monthly boxes. All I know is that as of May 1st, I can now show this pen on my social media. So now I can officially use it in my videos, and it's so sparkly. Okay, so let's get into it, because we have a lot to talk about, and I feel like this might be a long WIP. Long WIP'n chat. So I am officially more than halfway done this canvas. Once I finish this row, I literally have maybe like 1/4 of the canvas to go, less than, because the canvas is now hanging off of the end of my table, which is amazing. That tells me I'm very close to finishing. I have not worked on this canvas though in a while because life has been lifing, like really badly. Okay, let me just grab a color. Okay. So, how are you? What is new? For me here, it has been really busy and a little on the chaotic side. To start us off, I guess the last time we spoke, I had talked about how I had really bad headaches, and you know, they were just really starting to affect my everyday life. Well, 2 weeks ago, I finally went to the doctors. And it was part of the reason why last week there was no WIP'n chat, because the headaches were just really brutal and I just had a lot going on. So I finally did go to the doctors. My doctor was essentially unimpressed that I've been having headaches so frequently. I tend to get a headache almost every day. Earlier that week, I actually had to go home from work because the headache was that bad. And that's never happened for me. Essentially, in my doctor's appointment, she, based off of what I was describing to her, she recommended me put in a referral for a headache specialist. So I am now on a wait list for that. So it should be, she said it's about a 1 to 2 month wait, which doesn't seem that long compared to some of the other specialist appointments I've had to wait for. So I have that, and then she had decided to give me migraine medication that essentially the moment I start feeling a headache come on, if it's located on one side of my head, then she's like, you should just take your meds. So I was like, okay, great. And then in that same appointment, she decided that she wanted to do blood work, or get blood work done, to essentially double check that my iron and everything was still okay. So luckily at my doctor's clinic, the blood work clinic is right there. And essentially, if there is a nurse on staff, then they will be able to do the blood work, because they'll collect the blood work and then they'll ship it off to Life Labs rather than you having to go to a Life Labs facility for the blood work or clinic. So there was a nurse there that was able to do it. And like that day, I had like my normal like breakfast, like everything was super normal. She said I can still go ahead with the blood work even though I ate, blah, blah, blah. And for whatever reason, during my blood work, I had a mini medical episode. So when I started my appointment, I did tell my doctor, I'm like, I have a headache. And she was saying how, like, you know, once you get your migraine meds, like, if the headache is still there, just take one of the pills. And then she's like, but, you know, if you feel dizzy and, like, weak, have any numbness, then to go to the ER if you're having those symptoms at the same time you have a headache. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So I ended up, after the appointment, you know, going to get my blood work. And during my blood work, I started to feel very faint. And I started to get very clammy, very sweaty. They were having a hard time, like, poking to find a vein, which is really normal for me. Typically when I get my blood work done, they have a hard time. And long story short, I almost passed out, which was very unusual. Normally that doesn't happen. And I ended up getting stuck at the doctor's office for a good 40 minutes because, one, they had to stop the blood work because the blood just like wasn't flowing or whatever. And two, they were concerned as to why I was like starting to like pass out and I almost fell over. So they had me stay in one of the like waiting rooms. And then luckily my family doctor, they pulled her from her other patient, like the other appointment, for her to come and check with me. And essentially my blood pressure dropped really suddenly, very quickly. So they were a little concerned because I did say I had a headache prior to the blood work and I had eaten, like everything was, you know, normal. But then my family doctor said, I think you might have had, she said the name of it, but it's essentially like a fainting episode. So she's like, going forward, when you get blood work now, you have to tell them this happened and they'll have to do your blood work with you lying down. And I was like, okay, got it. So I had to stay at the doctor's clinic for a while. When I got home, I was still like very woozy, and thank God I had taken the day off of work, because I ended up resting the whole day. Like it took me a while to come back, if that makes sense. And like my family doctor was concerned because she's like, I live alone. So she's like, you know, if things like get worse, blah, 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 like this is what you have to do and whatever. So it was a whole thing. Obviously I'm okay now, but it was very scary when it happened. Because I've never had a reaction like that before. I've never had any of those symptoms. So it was, you know, a little nerve-wracking. And then, so that was like Thursday, 2 weeks ago. And then over the weekend was just bonkers. I ended up having an impromptu visit with my parents. That was not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I had like told them, you know, what had happened and, you know, I have my meds and blah, blah, blah. And I just continued getting my headaches. So, but the meds, one of the things is the side effect is like drowsiness and can cause dizziness. So for me, I was like, do I really want to take these meds when I'm at work if I don't know how much they will affect me? So at work, all last week, whenever I had a headache, I was just taking my Tylenol. And then, yeah. So that's why there was no WIP'n chat last week. Like, it was just really crazy. Just been taking it slow. And unfortunately, when I get my headaches, the thought of like sitting and focusing on something is really hard. So I haven't been diamond painting. Except this past weekend, I did start diamond painting and we will talk about that. But yes, so the week before, very chaotic. This past week, was very tiring. I ended up having to take this past Friday off from work. I just was dealing with a lot of burnout. I think it was trying to deal with the medical stuff. Obviously, I'm worried about my brother's wedding. Like, it was just a lot going on. So this past week, and I didn't even make it to my dance class this past week, which normally dance is, my thing, but I honestly, like, the thought of going, I just couldn't do it. So that's how I knew, like, I was really feeling it. So this past Friday, I ended up having to take off work, which worked in my favor because I ended up with a really bad headache on Friday. And I decided to take one of my migraine pills finally because I was at home. Well, turns out my migraine meds, so I don't know if it was a combination of like just me being burnt out or also the headache, but I ended up passing out. So Thursday night I slept solid, woke up at my normal time of 5, like my body's just doing its thing. I had a headache and I took my migraine meds, and the instructions is just to take like one pill, and then in an hour, if it doesn't get better, then take another one. But don't take more than 4 tablets in 24 hours. And I'm like, okay, got it. So long story short, I took one of the pills and it knocked me out. I was super tired. I fell asleep. I pretty much slept the whole day away. And then when I got up out of bed, I almost fell over because I was just beyond dizzy. So I don't know if like it was a combination of I was just burnt out, overtired from work, / the headache, and then trying my new medication. Like, I don't know what happened. But long story short, I was fine eventually. And Friday I ended up sleeping. Everything was fine. Saturday was a busier day because I had to do essentially groceries, get my button gear, do my laundry, all the things, because Sunday, which was yesterday, was my brother's rehearsal dinner. And the venue that they're getting married at is almost 2 hours away from me. So my brother offered for me to drive up to his place and then we would all carpool together, because from his house, the venue is only about maybe an hour, just over an hour, depending on traffic. So I said, yeah, no problem. So last night we had his rehearsal, wedding rehearsal, and the dinner. And the dinner was also a surprise birthday party for him. And it was lovely. Honestly, I am so excited for their wedding. They're getting married on the May long weekend. So it's going to be a little busy again, but I am so excited for their wedding. They're just such a cute couple, him and his fiance. And I just am like over the moon for them. Dinner was really good. Afterwards, we went to like this restaurant in a hotel and the food was phenomenal. I ended up, so like before the rehearsal dinner, you had to select your food from like the options so that it would be like essentially ready when we got there, because we were a fairly big party. I think there was like 20 of us. So I ended up choosing for my, like, so the appetizer was just like some cheese and bread, like charcuterie style. And then course 1, you had the choice of like salad or crab cake. So I chose the crab cake, which was so good. It was such a treat because I don't get crab cake often unless I make it myself, but even then I don't do it that often. And then for dinner, you had the choice of either a seafood linguine, a like roasted duck, or steak. So I chose the steak. My parents also chose the steak, and it was so good. It also worked out because I was like super hungry. So I ate everything. And then for dessert, they did a matcha cake. I was too full, so I could not finish my dessert. I was able to bring my cake slice home, and then my mom did not want her cake slice, so then she packaged it to go and gave it to me. So now I have like 2 slices of matcha cake in my fridge, and I'm so excited because I love matcha. And then we stayed, obviously, because we celebrated my brother's birthday. He opened his gifts. He was really surprised that, you know, we all also made it his birthday, because his birthday is on Tuesday. So the day that this video is going live. And then last night I got home like really late. Well, we got back to my brother's place really late, and I already knew that today, Monday, was going to be really rough. So I did not go to work today, just like with all the traveling. So yeah, it's sort of like, so it's late in the day on Monday, and I think today, like when I finally made my way home, it was late, like it was like mid-morning around lunch time. So yeah. So tomorrow I am back at work, which is the day that this video goes up, and I'm feeling much better. I did have a headache earlier today, like I woke up with one. So I don't know, well, if it was lack of sleep, but like I slept in at my brother's place, or if it was like lack of water or food. But then I ate when I got home and the headache still didn't go away. So I did take one of my migraine meds because the headache was isolated essentially on one side of my head. And you know what? I didn't feel drowsy. I didn't feel dizzy. So I feel like what happened on Friday was a fluke, which is good because, I would definitely like to be able to bring my migraine meds with me to work in case I get a really bad headache / migraine. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what's been going on in my world. It's been really busy. I feel like I haven't been home. Like I said, I haven't been diamond painting too much. I feel like looking at my diamond painting, definitely going to be focusing still on this project. On Saturday, was it Saturday? I can't remember when it was, but I did kit up because at the beginning of the year, I did like a video talking about my most anticipated diamond painting kits that I really wanted to work on this year. So I ended up kitting up this partial Pegasus diamond painting that is from Diamond Dots. It's one of the very first licensed diamond paintings that I had ever purchased. So I did kit that one up. I started working on it on Saturday, and it's a round drill canvas. And then I thought, you know what? I just felt like working on the mystery kit. So I'm a little all over the place, which is fair. So yeah, so the mystery kit is currently back to being the main kit that I'm focusing on. I think I just needed like a little break from the mystery kit, to be honest, because the Dreamer Designs kit, it's only, I think, 19 or 21 colors, and it is a partial. So I know if I like sit down and just focus on it, I will probably be able to finish it in a week. But I was cleaning the office, aka my craft room, and I was like, in the midst of cleaning, I realized that, you know, I had a section on the mystery kit that was half started, and the magnet or my cover minder fell off. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just continue working on the mystery kit? So that's where I'm at. Plus, I am getting pretty close to the end, so I can't really complain. But yeah, so this week I have high hopes. I have high hopes in terms of focusing on some diamond painting, and just, you know, taking it easy, taking care of myself, making sure that, you know, I don't feel burnt out again. I feel like last week I was just doing too much, and I just wasn't doing enough to fill my own cup. I think that's what happened. But yeah, so diamond painting wise, this week I will be focusing on my mystery kit. I did finally film my Diamond Art Club mystery box unboxing, so that video will be going up on Thursday. I still need to film my month in review because I do my bi-monthly month in review, so I cover 2 months at a time because I diamond paint so slow. Yeah, I feel like the WIPs will outnumber how many kits I actually worked on. I feel like that's what's going to happen. We'll find out. We will find out when I actually film it. But yes, so that video is coming. But yeah, that's sort of what's been going on. In terms of like other news, reading wise, I have not been reading as much, mainly because of my headaches. However, when I have been reading, I was able to finish And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. That was the second book in the series Heartstrings. I don't know if there's going to be a third book, to be honest. If there is a third book, I have no idea what character they would focus on, unless they focus on Maggie. Actually, that would be interesting if they did her. But yeah, so I did finish that book. And then in terms of the other books, this past weekend, I just needed a change of pace. So this past weekend, I finally started reading Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. It is very dark, which I knew that going into it, but I didn't realize how dark it would be. Because the trigger warnings is like war crimes, torture, sense of loss, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely a darker book. It's a heavier book. I feel like so far I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely going to be a book that might take me a little longer because one, it is long, and two, I feel like I'm going to need to take like mental breaks because of the content. So I started that book this weekend. And then in terms of my other books, so my dark romance book club is currently reading Game On by Navessa Allen. So that's the one that is like I've just been reading here and there. And then I still need to finish The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. That book I had started and I just haven't picked it up because it's a physical book. And I find normally I tend to read physical books much slower than my ebooks because ebooks are on my e-reader and my e-reader is just easy for me to take with me like to work. So yeah, although now that it is nicer weather, when I'm sitting out on my balcony, I tend to read physical books more. I don't know, make it make sense. So anyway, that's sort of what's going on with the book situation. So essentially I have 3 books on the go, and then my other book club from high school, we chose a book by TJ Klune, and I can't remember what the name of it is because I have not started it. All I know is that that book, as long as I have it done by like the end of May, I'm fine. Because that book club, we always meet at the end of May. But yeah, so that's that in terms of my books. So lots on the go, no progress. Hopefully that's gonna change. Yeah. And then in terms of, I guess we can talk about diamond painting now because I feel like there's a lot going on with diamond painting news. This past week, I think, I had received an email from Diamond Art Club that 2 of my pre-orders have been delayed at customs, I guess, like the US Customs or whatever. I don't actually know where they were delayed. All I know is that they haven't shipped to me in Canada. So long story short, Diamond Art Club has been doing a lot more like pre-orders, which I'm okay with that because I'm 90% sure that when I kept going to the FedEx location to pick up my packages, the people were like, she's here like every week. But long story short, I had received an email telling me that my pre-order, so I have 2 separate pre-orders right now. One has Welcome to My Room by the Gubu family, and the other one is Harmony in the Highlands by Steve Sundrup. And in both of these orders, I had also ordered items that were in stock. So with, what's it called? I made notes. Like, see, look, it's on this sticky note. It's a disaster. But with my Welcome to My Room pre-order, I had decided to order with it to get my free shipping the Dory diamond painting from Finding Nemo, because Finding Nemo is one of my favorite Disney Pixar movies. So it only makes sense that I slowly get the Finding Nemo characters. And then with Harmony in the Highlands, to get my free shipping, I decided to order some metal tip multi-placers. So Diamond Art Club essentially was saying, like, you know, if you have other items that were part of your order that are in stock, everything's going to ship together. And the new estimated date of when things will start shipping for me is May 30th. So I was like, okay, that works, because the month of May is like really chaotic. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. So long story short, Diamond Art Club had a restock. And in their restock, I was able to get Yumeko by Margaret Morales. And it's a diamond painting with the girl, and she is with the purple flowers. So it was on my wish list. And of course, in that order, to get my free shipping, I decided to order the Nemo diamond painting, the Nemo Disney one, because my goal is to slowly collect like the Finding Nemo like mini canvases or whatever, because I just love Finding Nemo. Although I'm still waiting for them to do like a scene from Finding Nemo. That's going to be a disaster. Anyway, so that order said nothing about it being a pre-order. So I was like, okay, you know. So it's been like, I think, over a week now since I had ordered my Margaret Morales, and I still haven't received a shipping notification. So this past weekend, I emailed Diamond Art Club customer service, and I let them know, I'm like, hey, you know, I understand I have 2 orders that are pre-orders and that they won't be shipping until the end of May. However, I have this order that says they're in stock, but it hasn't shipped yet. I was just wondering, like, are you just holding all 3 of my orders until everything can ship at once? Like, what's happening? So they responded right away. And this is why, like, I constantly am buying from Diamond Art Club, to be honest. Because 1, their customer service is really quick. And 2, they're very, like, transparent with, like, what's, like, going on. Because they emailed me back and they said, we're going to be shipping everything all at once. And it should all just be coming in like one big package. So for me personally, I like this because 1, I have a lot of diamond paintings already in my stash. But 2, it just means I only should hopefully have to make 1 trip to the FedEx people, and then not 3 separate trips. And then they think I'm like, you know, like this crazy lady that's just always there getting packages. So in other words, I have quite a bit of diamond paintings coming, which in turn motivates me to want to keep working on my diamond paintings. Which, with that being said, okay, so I had taken out Rainy Day by Hannah Lynn because I told myself that that kit would be like the next one I'd work on, because I decided Claire on the Nutcracker, because it's more of a Christmassy diamond painting. I'm not feeling Christmas right now. I would work on it, you know, maybe closer to Christmas, or maybe in July for Christmas in July, who knows. But I'm just like not in the mood to work on it. So I told myself when I'm done this one, my next big canvas would be Rainy Day by Hannah Lynn. Tell me how I already threw out the box. That kit has been like flattening. It's very flat now. And I still need to actually kit up the drills, because the drills are just chilling in their baggies. Heat sealed baggies. So yeah, and I keep telling myself I will get around to kitting it up, and I just haven't. So I think right now, knowing that all of my diamond paintings will be coming, and also knowing that I'm almost done this kit, I'm very motivated to keep plugging away at this one, and to just work on something new and fresh, because I feel like 2026 has been so far the year of just endless WIPs, and I haven't really touched much other things in my stash, which is fine. It happens. Like, I know I'm a slow diamond painter, but I would like to work on more things in my stash. Anyway, so that's my rambling. That's what's been going on with diamond painting. Obviously, this past weekend, there was a new Steve Sundrum that released. It was a turtle. I decided to not order it because after I received my email from Diamond Art Club telling me that my packages will be coming soon, I was like, you know what? I don't need to add to this, because that Steve Sundrum, the turtle that released this weekend, it is a pre-order, and I think it's not shipping until like the end of May. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. Although I did get an email from Diamond Art Club, because I started sending emails about when like paintings you voted on will be like coming out soon. And one of the Gubu family diamond paintings that I had voted on is coming out eventually. And they've also been hinting at a new Miss Holly diamond painting. And I'm just like, oh no. Because the Gubu family, I really like their like artwork. They're one of my new favorites. Although I did miss the release of Sweet Picnic. So it's on my wish list. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so there's just too much artwork, too many diamond paintings, too little time. That's my current problem. It's a very weird problem to have, but yeah, anyway. So that is what's been going on in terms of diamond painting. As you can tell, I feel rejuvenated. I feel ready to just make progress on, you know, my stash. So yeah. So moving on, because this vlog is getting a little long. Other news, TV wise, I did finish watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2. If you are new here, I love dinosaurs. I love Godzilla. It just makes me very happy. The show was amazing. So now, because I'm like, oh, I need something else to watch. So now I am currently watching Season 2 of One Piece. That's my focus project. Because I can only handle really watching like one serious TV show at a time. So, and if I'm not watching my one serious TV show at a time, then I'm just watching sitcoms or reality TV. So I am currently watching One Piece Season 2. So far, I like it. It's fun. I'm really excited to see Little Chopper. I think he's so cute. So that is my TV show. Other than that, it's literally Bob's Burgers or putting on like a Disney animated movie as like comfort. Or, you know, just going back to watching like Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, Godzilla. Like, yeah, I'm really not creative when it comes to my TV. Because honestly, whenever like I have time to choose something, I just watch the same thing over and over again. That's just how I function. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what's been going on. I guess another than that, like, it's pretty, it is what it is. Like, other than me getting taken out constantly by headaches and not really functioning well, yeah, that's it. I'm just here living life, taking it day by day, nice and slow. Obviously I diamond paint really slow when I am doing a video, but I am going to wrap this up because I'm out of things to talk about. So, definitely in a nice colorful area. At the top of the painting is definitely much darker, but this aqua and yellow is so cute. And I believe there should be some more ghosties to work on. I hope so. I don't know. We'll see. We will see what happens. But anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave me some type of spring-like emoji, because it's sort of nice out today. Finally. It's been like super cold. Anyway. All right. So yes, if you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave me a spring emoji? And if you are looking for more diamond painting content, you can find me on my Instagram at ShineBrightDiamonds2023. So until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye everyone.